All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I thought I'd do something a little different here. We'll still show some charts, but I think I'm going to do a little bit more thoughts on this video, all right? So there are some funky things going on, all right? And it's kind of weird because if you look at the market, and when I say the market, I mean the three indices, right? The Dow Jones, the S&P 500, and the Nasdaq. When you look at the market, they're actually going up. But most of the tickers that I like to trade, that we like to trade, right? They're flat, if not a little bit down. And man, it's tough when the normal conditions aren't there. All right. And I can easily tell you this was probably 5 years ago, well before I started the YouTube channel. All right. You can imagine there was a point where I didn't know how to do any of this stuff, right? I didn't know what moving averages were. I didn't know what breaking a line, break all five and fly. None of those things meant anything to me, right? When I learned it, there came this cockiness, all right? I sincerely believed I could beat any market condition. And I have never lost more money than that period of window. It actually wasn't even a big period. It was a death by 1,000 cuts, man. It was so stupid. And end of the day, look, the point is it's important to pick your battles. You need to know when it's your moment to trade and when it's not. And believe me, for someone like me that loves to trade every minute of every day, it's tough to not trade. All right. And that's a little bit of what this video is. Look, listen, there's money to be made every single day. All right. And you can find winners on bloody bad days, right? But if your strategy and your trading style isn't that, sometimes you can start to mess up a good thing by doing more than you should. All right, so that's gonna be the underlying point of this video. I'm for sure gonna show the charts, right? When we look at the S&P 500, like I said, when you look at the daily, it definitely is a lot choppier. But I mean, obviously it's going up, right? But just look at the weekly, right? All we're doing is riding the 8 moving average, right? Look at the monthly. All we're doing is flying above the 8 moving average, right? So as you zoom out and you look, it's the same story. A bunch of lines, right? I got to get rid of some of those lines, but it's the same story, right? All they're doing is just going up and away as you zoom out, but as you zoom in, they get really messy, right? So it's important to remember, like, just oh man, there's so many things in my head, and that's going to be the point of this video. All right, so I don't have my normal chapters right here, but we're going to go back into the fireplace and let's talk a little bit. So look, I love flipping small cap, mid cap stocks, right? I often say it's my 401k that's holding all these like big blue chip, important stocks, right? The Magnificent Seven, that is what my 401k is filled with, right? And that's just slow and steady. Every other week, my paycheck goes into that, good or bad, right? Like that's my dollar cost average, right? Whatever. You get what I'm saying, right? Like there are places where I do that, and then there are places like my personal trading account where I like to flip. And man, it is bothersome to me that the normal stocks I buy, they're just not doing it, right? And what I found myself doing a lot more lately is literally one of two things. I am either not trading like at all, like there are days when I'm just like not, I don't have a penny in the market, or I call it mouse stealing cheese. All right, I basically buy right at the morning. Like I wake up around 6:30 a.m. because I'm on the West Coast, right? I look at the charts, I see what has a good couple hour chart going, and then I will sell before the market closes. It's like a little mouse, get in there, get some cheese, and get out, right? Like I get my hand slapped a little bit more than I normally do because again, this isn't my normal like trading style, right? But I'm not using as much money. I'm just more having fun than I am doing anything, right? But it's tough trading out there, and I think one of the toughest parts of tough trading is other people love this kind of situation. They love these market conditions, right? Because there are some really, really shady, really, really crazy stocks that some people just take advantage of during these times, right? Like to me, I'm thinking of like overseas stocks, right? Like a lot of overseas random tickers, they tend to fly when the US market just isn't looking good, right? So to some, you start seeing all these like, oh, I'm hitting 30%, 40%, 30%, right? You see all these other people succeeding, and I'm at least here saying there is something to just waiting. All right. And very, very often I compare my money to an army. All right. And most armies don't battle every single day. Most nations don't go into wars knowing that they're not going to win. There's just no point in doing that. You're going to slaughter your men, right? Your women, everything. Same thing with money. You don't want your money to get slaughtered out there in the army world, right? In the war that is trading, right? So sometimes you just sit back and wait. And again, it's weird saying that as things look good. Look, obviously it hasn't been a good start to this week, right? We are in a red week right now, but all we're doing is holding, and what's been happening is we'll come to the 8 and then go back up, and then to the 8 and go back up, and then to the 8 and go back up. All we might be doing right now is coming back to the 8 so we can just keep going back up, right? And end of the day, you to me, I sincerely believe it'll all get better. Excuse me, it'll all get better. I'm in a lot of ways blaming, and other people are saying this, right? It's not like I'm just making this up, but a lot of people are blaming the government shutdown, right? And it is a huge thing. We are now in historical government shutdown timelines. People are saying that it's going to keep going for another month. It's going to go through the Thanksgiving holiday. I'll be honest with you, my wife and I have travel plans, and we're trying to figure out, are we going to like cancel our flight and just make a crazy long drive? And like, what are we going to do? You know what I mean? Because I don't want to get, number one, stuck at an airport. I don't want to leave my life to some random air traffic control scrubs, or you know what I mean, right? Like it's crazy, and there's nothing more that the market hates than uncertainty. I think it's good that the uncertainty is happening at a time where, like, I say this, not politically, but if Trump wasn't president and this uncertainty was going on, it would be really bad. Now, look, some might say if he wasn't president, this government shutdown would have. That's not the point I'm trying to make, right? But it's uncertain for sure, but we are still living in a Trump government. And you know what? The Kobeshi letter actually said something like this. As I'm saying the words, I'm realizing where I'm getting this from. Look, we are still living in Trump's deregulation, big companies getting bigger, government breaks for like this is still a pro business, pro company government. And though there's some uncertainty and shutdown, listen, the government's going to get back open, right? And once it does, we should get back to normal trading, all right? And really, one more time, the point of all of this was you can either just sit and wait, and I know it's boring, and I know you're seeing other people win and you want to too, but like sometimes just sit and wait is the best thing to do, right? Like, if you really want, you can mouse taking some cheese. It's fun. You get a little bit of an adrenaline rush, especially if you're not used to like day trading. If you're a swing trader like me, you know what I mean. It's a little fun, but listen, sometimes the best thing you can do is nothing. And for sure, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna end it with this: the market's not bad. Right? I can't say the market's bad when the weekly hasn't even remotely lost the 8 moving average, when the monthly hasn't even come down anywhere near the 8 in what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're coming up on half a year over the 8 moving average, right? Like it's hard to say the market's not good, but it's funky. And it's just better to let the funk pass, right? Let it go through, and then hopefully you're ready with the army on the side to attack once the conditions are better. All right. So hey, look, I know it's not the normal video. I know the goal is, hey, what stock is looking good and the technicals are looking like their thing. The Discord has some good tickers. I'll be honest with you, Mr. Onion, a couple others. They've been dropping some pretty decent tickers that have actually brought in what I think one of them was 26, a KXIN. Yeah, I think that one. Again, there's money to be made, but there's also money to be lost, right? And just make sure you're always looking at both sides of the coin when you're making your plan, right? So, look, let me know your thoughts, let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Oh, I appreciate you so much.